Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Alex Luzadre coming to you again from Phoenix, Arizona. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about a conversation I had today with a brand new client who was referred to me by one of my partners. And the conversation was about whether or not he should buy his primary home, buy an investment property first. What should he do with a limited amount of capital? Or a limited amount of money to work with. So, my answer to him was it really depends. It's like the golden attorney answer, right? Or not an attorney, but typically what you hear, right? For a lot of situations. So I was like, first thing I asked him was, are you single, married, family, kids? Like, what's the situation look like there? He's married, no kids. So I was like, okay, well, what's the conversation been with your wife, right? Because guys know this: happy wife, happy life. We got to make sure that they're taken care of, they're happy, and of course, if nothing else, at least brought into the conversation. So his answer was, we've talked about it, we've kind of gone back and forth. I think she's leaning more so towards a primary residence. What do you think? I'm like, man, I can give you what I would say, or from my own experience, right? My wife and I, we decided to buy our own primary residence first and foremost before we jumped on the investment bandwagon. We weren't really there yet. It was kind of a far off idea for us in the future that we knew we wanted to get to at some point, but didn't think we were quite ready for it at the time. So, we bought our primary, super excited about it. We renovated it, we sold it, bought another primary, and then after that, it was a couple of years. Even then, after we decided to buy an investment property, so, I said there's really no wrong answer here. It just kind of depends on what your end goal is, right? Is it? I want to have a portfolio of investment properties, or I want to stabilize my own home life first before I get into all that. So, again, depending on what your goals are, there's no wrong answer. Um, but I did tell him that it is certainly a lot easier to get on the investment bandwagon and building your portfolio before you start to increase your lifestyle, right? I get it if rents are rising and you could be paying a mortgage for the same cost of your current rents, then that's definitely something else to take into consideration, right? It might be a better move just to jump into a primary residence and at least secure that payment for the next 30 years so you're not subject to further rent hikes down the line. Um, on the other hand, like maybe let's look at a duplex, triplex, quadplex, anything up to 4 units, you can buy as a primary residence and just rent out the other units, right? So you're accomplishing a bit of both. And that might be more of a stepping stone as well. You can live there for minimum of a year, and then step to your next property, right? Rent out that unit that you were living in, maybe buy the primary residence that you really wanted now, or do it again, right? Buy another duplex, triplex, quadplex, and start to scale up your portfolio that way. Or even buying a primary that you like and intend to renovate a little bit, but maybe living there for a year and then deciding to rent it out afterwards. You live there for a year, we improved it a little bit. Cool, we're ready to buy the next one, and we can rent this one out that we're in now, and that'll be our first investment property, right? Plenty of different strategies to go about in this form or fashion. Um, and a lot of it just comes down to, how much cash do you have, right? If you have the ability to do two, three, or sorry, buy his primary and an investment property, well, then why not do both, right? If funds are limited, it might, and you're brand new at this, especially, it might be a better idea to just take it one step at a time, stabilize after you've bought that first one before going on to the next one. Because there's a lot of stuff that you just don't know that you don't know until you really break down those doors and get into it. But I did tell him that if it was me, if I could talk to myself from 10 years ago, I'd be saying, hey, maybe delay your own personal gratification a little bit, jump into, the investment property bandwagon first and foremost, and maybe get some experience there before looking to upgrade your lifestyle. But I can hear my wife in the back of my, I can hear my wife in my ear as I'm saying that to him. No, we're not doing that. We're buying our place first. Um, But and so, to that note, the advantage of buying the primary first is that it's a smaller down payment. Investment property, you're looking at least 20%, at minimum 25% if you want some optimal terms. Uh, Versus, primary, you can get away with 3.5, 5, 10% down. So at that point, it allows you to get in there, live in it for at least a year before, considering making it an investment property down the line. And at that point, it's an easier way to build your portfolio unlimited cash. So that was the gist of that conversation, guys. I hope this brought some value to you. If it did, like, share, subscribe. Be sure to put out some more content as I have some good conversations, and be sure to share. Take care, guys.